Welcome to College Algebra. I wanted to meet you face to face so that you can put my face with my voice. This is our first weekly video announcement. I will be sending these weekly announcements through my math lab as a checklist of things to do for the week. These announcements will be sent on Monday afternoons, and I plan on posting these videos under course materials. In these videos, I will go over the checklist to make verbal clarifications on the list. So let's begin. If you are not watching this announcement video while on my math lab, then the first thing you need to do is to make sure you go and register into my math lab. Here is our code for our class. Everything will be on my math lab, so I encourage you to register for my math lab as soon as possible. If you are watching this through my math lab, then you've already registered for the my math lab course. The other thing I want to do is to talk about some suggestions for success in this course. First, may I suggest that you plan out your week to include time for this class. You will need time to view videos, work on homework, ask questions, post and reply to the discussion board, and attend office hours if needed. You should be on my math lab at least 2 to 3 times a week. As you make your weekly plans for this class, pay attention to the scheduled due dates for the quizzes and the test windows. These dates can be found on the calendar. The next thing I want to talk about is requesting a testing center if you are not testing at a Lone Star College Assessment Center. Please email me your testing center information before January 24th. I plan to contact your testing center to make sure that it meets the requirements that the Lone Star College Math Department has put forth. Again, we need to know your testing center as soon as possible. In fact, the sooner the better, especially since our first test window actually starts on January 28th. I also want to encourage you to ask questions. Please email me your questions. I will then post your question along with my response to the discussion board so that the entire class may benefit from your bravery of asking the question. So before emailing me your question, you may want to check out the discussion board. I encourage you to post to the discussion board in the middle of the night so that other students can answer your question. I hope to review the discussion board daily to help answer posted questions as well. Last but not least, I also want to talk about some of the to-dos this week. On our to-do list for this week, we need to complete homework number 1 and homework number 2. This means that you need to view videos as well as to complete the My Notes. Though this is optional, I encourage you to keep notes of worked examples and then do the homework problems. Notice I did not put any due dates on the homework. Homework assignments are due towards the end of the unit testing window. Homework will still be available for you to do all the way through the end of the semester. However, after the due date, you will only get half credit on anything that you work on in the homework assignment. So for the best grade, your best bet is to do as much homework before the due date so that you may get full credit for what you do. To encourage you to keep up with the homework, you will have weekly quizzes. You'll see on the course calendar that your first quiz will be due on Tuesday, January 22nd. You can see how it is covering homework number 1 and 2. The window for the quiz will open on the Thursday and then close the following Tuesday. This will give you the weekend to work on it. The other thing I want to make sure I mention is the discussion board. For each discussion board, you will see 2 due dates. One is for you to post and the other one is for you to reply. The first discussion is relatively easy as you just have to introduce yourself using technology. Please note that you will not be able to see anybody else's post until you post. This first discussion is mandatory, so make sure you introduce yourself as soon as possible, and preferably before January 17th. Then return to the discussion board before January 24th and reply and meet your classmates. Now I want to mention the syllabus quiz. You may want to complete the syllabus quiz even though its due date is at the end of the month. My suggestion is to print the syllabus, read it, and then take the quiz. You can take this quiz as many times as you would like in order to attain a perfect 100. Notice I didn't do my highlight here for quiz number 1. I want to make sure I mention that when you take quizzes, you will have only 2 opportunities. The first opportunity to take each quiz, you don't have to do any of the homework. However, if you want to take the quiz a second time, you do have to have done some homework on homework number 1 and homework number 2 in order to access the quiz a second time. Finally, I want to talk about my office hours. Sometimes you might hear me call them student hours or tutoring hours. Here they are. If you're on campus, you can come see me in room 204 at these particular times and days. I also have some special online student hours. These online student hours are on Mondays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I will be sending out WebEx invitations for these student hours starting on Monday, January 28th. If you need any assistance before then, we will need to communicate through email. These are the set times that are convenient for me, but I am more than willing to set up other times by appointment. To set up an appointment, you can either call me at this number or you can email me at my email address. Again, if you're going to email me, make sure that you put Math 1314 in the subject line, especially when asking questions. The subject line of Math 1314 takes precedence. In other words, I will answer these emails before any other emails that I receive. This is it for this week's to-do list. I wish all of you the best for the semester, and I hope to hear from you soon. This concludes this video.